What's our exercise? Muscle clean. It's so different than a regular clean. Who needs this exercise? Beginning athletes and advanced athletes. Actually, any athlete that has a number of problems, just a few of which are, say they have passive arms, they're not pulling on that bar when it's coming off the hip. Say they're having a hard time applying force into the floor during the drive, or it's just an opportunity to teach the athlete and work them through positions to help them understand more about the movement. That's who should be doing it. Why would we use a muscle clean instead of just a clean? I kind of mentioned it in who should be doing this exercise. But remember, if we're having passive arms, it helps an athlete understand how to activate and truly use their arms off the hip. It also helps an athlete understand how to apply force into the floor. So a few different use cases. However, it's going to make more sense when we talk about how. When to program in muscle cleans? I would say typically a good time is when an athlete starts to take good hold on to the overall movement of, say, the clean. So another case study is if you have an athlete where you can see their arms are being passive, or you can tell that they're not applying force into the floor, like I've mentioned a couple times now. So again, once an athlete starts to gain hold of the movement of the clean, that'd be a good time to introduce this exercise to them and teach it to them. But now, most importantly, let's talk about how to do it.
So we have a muscle clean. Let's watch AJ here. So like always, some key points that we talk about with a muscle version of the lift is as the athlete's driving, we like to use the muscle version to mimic the lift, right? So we still want the bar to brush the hip, brush the thigh, depending on the snatch, clean, whatever. But we want it to still brush, but we emphasize athletes working on pushing through the floor continuously, right? Here AJ gets maybe a little floaty on the toe rather than, say, right here where you see he's got more force into the ground. In this position, he can drive, emphasizing pushing his legs into the ground and then pulling the bar up, rather than why he gets a little toesy or comes up off the ground a little bit is he's emphasizing just hip and almost going up in the air with the bar. Right, so it makes him very aware that, hey, I'm kind of using my hip here to drive, and it makes me floaty. It takes me up in the air with the bar a little bit, where we want him to emphasize pushing into the ground and then pulling up. So when we do that, we have the athlete push into the ground and then finish that movement with the arm. So just two quick things that I really like to use muscle versions of the lift with is emphasizing applying force into the ground, helping an athlete do that, and then also helping an athlete pull and finish with their arms. So if you have an athlete that's naturally gifted at being able to change direction, jump under the bar, often these arms will get a little passive in pulling correctly, and when the weight gets to the point where they can't cheat anymore, that's hard to get the arms to fire correctly if those arms have been dormant. So I hope this helps. If you haven't used a muscle version of the lift, go ahead and check it out, try it out, and as always, good luck.